Good afternoon, guys, and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I got up earlier than yesterday, and yet I feel very like I didn't get a lot done today, like very unproductive. I don't know really why that was. Honestly, I ended up spending like a lot of time where okay, so I woke up this morning at like 9 o'clock, I think, actually, which was like way earlier than yesterday. Yesterday, I think I got up at like 11 or something like that. Honestly, yesterday was really bad. I don't really know why, because I went to bed early, but luckily I'm going to bed earlier. Well, actually, no, it was weird. Last night I went to bed, I told you guys I didn't get into bed until like almost 2 or something like that. 1 or something. 1, maybe almost 2 o'clock I fell asleep by or something like that. I don't really remember, but yeah, I went to bed really late last night. I actually woke up early today, but then yesterday I went to bed, or the night before that I went to bed early and actually woke up later. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. But I'm going to, tonight's actually earlier than yesterday, so hopefully, you know, like I can wake up tomorrow, but given my past record, that might not happen. So yeah, but today I got up earlier and ended up, I didn't edit today or anything like that. I had my coffee, I had a bagel for breakfast, and I ended up I watched like 2 or 3 YouTube videos or something like that, which were like 10 or 15 minutes. It was like a half an hour this morning. And then I went ahead and started making my grocery list, because I told you guys how I didn't have my grocery or my sales papers to make my grocery list this week, because I thought they didn't come because of the holiday. They ended up getting not lost in the mail. They got lost in our house in a pile of mail that everybody told me they didn't bring in. Everybody's like, no, I didn't see them. I didn't bring the mail in. And I was like, yeah, just, you know, the mailman delivered it right into our house. I'm sure that's how it happened. So, yeah, it was in a pile of mail that's been sitting in our kitchen. So, I was really like, didn't know how that got there, but regardless, ended up actually found it this morning when I was looking. I was like, you know what, I have a weird feeling someone did get it and they brought it in and nobody's fessing up to who did it. I was like, I don't care, but everybody was like, it wasn't me. So I found it, and instead of having to make do the list online, which one of the websites wasn't working that I went to yesterday to Caputo's, so I ended up making my grocery list this morning, which I ended up going fine. That probably ended up taking me about a half an hour or something like that. And then around, maybe actually was a little bit longer, maybe that took me like about an hour for breakfast and stuff like that this morning. I also have to figure into, like, normally to make breakfast, to get dressed, to take the dogs out, to feed the dogs, like put my makeup on, do all that kind of stuff in the morning, normally winds up taking me about a half an hour or so. Sometimes it can take me almost an hour. So anyways, it was probably close to like maybe about noon or something like that. My mom had asked me. I was literally finished with my grocery list. I just had to actually type it into my list on my phone, and my mom was like, you want to go for a walk? And I was like, okay, sure, because I didn't think that I was going to get to any yard work today, because I had to go to the grocery stores today, and I hadn't made my list because I didn't have my sales papers earlier in the week, and so it was a headache. I ended up being like, okay, yeah, sure. So we ended up going for like a walk. It was maybe about, I don't think it's a complete mile. It's probably about like a little under a mile. And we didn't go as far as we've gone in the past, so I'd say it was probably, well, not like over a half a mile, but probably under a mile. So we ended up doing that, and I actually felt good today though, because I hadn't like done that. Like I told you guys too, my joints all felt really weird yesterday. Today they actually felt fine. But I was thinking maybe it was from like a lack of like exercise and stuff like that, because I've been doing it so much lately, you know, in the garden and, you know, weeding and stuff like that, that, you know, I need some physical exercise or something. And so, actually when we walked, like I actually felt really good today. But the problem was that then we ended up coming back home. I finished my list and I was like, okay, so then I think I ended up like having lunch or something like that. And then normally my dad gets home about 2 or 3 o'clock or something like that from work. And I'm sitting there and it's like 3 o'clock has gone by. Actually, no. Me and my mom did watch. We finished that Dead North series, which we watched to the last like 2 episodes, which was another 2 hours. I think that's what we did when we got back from the walk. So then it was about like 2, 3 o'clock or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, my dad should be home soon, and then we're gonna go to, you know, to Caputo's and Valley Produce. And all of a sudden, it's like almost 3:30, and then he texts and he's like, oh, he was working actually in Chicago today, which he doesn't typically do. It's like, he will sometimes, but it's not super, like, it's kind of rare now. He used to be there all the time, and now he's like, he doesn't work there quite as often, just because that's not where he has to work anymore. So I was like, okay. So he texted me that though at like 3 o'clock, and I was like, I've been waiting here like for, that was probably like about an hour, 2 hours at that point. And I was like, well, if I would have known at like, you know, would have been like 2 o'clock or whatever, I probably would have wound up going outside and had started like doing some type of yard work or whatever. And then I was like, well, it'll probably take him an hour to get home. I was like, but then thinking it's Friday, it's traffic, it's rush hour, I was like, maybe more like an hour and a half or 2 hours to get home. So I think he finally got home like 5 o'clock or something like that. But originally, like I said, I was thinking, oh, it's not going to take him that long to get home, maybe about an hour. And I didn't want to start something like working outside or whatever, and then, like, you know, really get going into it, and then having to leave to go to the grocery store and being all hot and sweaty, not being able to take a shower. It was hot this morning when me and my mom, like, took our walk, but then it dropped off like crazy. It's like 50s now tonight, so it's actually pretty cold. Tomorrow's supposed to be, I think, like 75 is a high, but this morning it was like 80 degrees, and then it dropped down. It'll be cold out now tonight. But it was like, I was frustrated because I was like, if I would have known, I probably would have started work like outside at 2 and would have had like 3 or so hours to like do it and then like get some work done outside. And then my dad didn't end up, he came home, he ended up actually doing his workout and like a handful of other things. And so I don't think we ended up leaving until like 6 or 7 o'clock, which at that point I was like, honestly, I could have like done yard work and then taken a shower and everything like that and been totally fine. But no, it apparently didn't work out that way. So that's why I, just like I said, I wanted to make sure that I was like ready to go to the stores, because I honestly, that's probably my priority, because I didn't want to put it off, and I don't like going on other days. So it's normally just like, it's best to go on Friday nights. And so that's why I was like frustrated. I didn't get a chance to like, you know, I had the opportunity to do it, but I didn't know that I had the opportunity to do it. And so I had a whole bunch of wasted time today where I was like sitting around, like watching TV, or, you know, just like, I actually was reading today. I was like, seriously, what am I supposed to do with myself? Like, I didn't know. And like I said, I didn't want to start something that I was going to really get into and then all of a sudden have to like change pace and then go and do like a 180 and go to the grocery stores or whatever. Especially if, like I said, I was going to go outside or do something and get all hot and sweaty and then you have to go take a shower, and it's honestly super uncomfortable to go to the grocery stores when it's like you're all like covered in mud and stuff like that and you're, you know, trailing through the grocery stores. So I decided that wouldn't have been the best idea. But yeah, guys, so that's why today, although I did get laundry done, I did do dishes today, I still feel like I didn't quite get as much done as I wanted to, because like I said, I had the opportunity today, and because it was cool outside, which was really nice, I had the opportunity to also get, like, you know, yard work done because it was a lot cooler out today. But I didn't realize that I had the opportunity, which kind of stunk. So yeah, guys, I actually read a book today, like, go figure, which is how much like extra time I felt like I had today. But it was, like I said, I mean, reading a book's always good, but I feel like I could have utilized that time better today had I known, you know, like the scheduling of everything that was going on. But then tomorrow, I think we're just gonna go to like Walmart and Menards, and then I think my mom might take me to Aldi or something like that. And I'm hoping to get yard work done tomorrow because it's supposed to be cool too, like I said, like 75, so that's nice. Like, I can actually like work outside and not be like dripping sweat like I was a couple days ago, or like last week when it was still like mid 80s and stuff like that. That was kind of gross. And it was just like the sun was just like coming down. It was hot out those couple days that I was out there, but then this week was even worse, which is why I was like, nope, that's not gonna happen this week. Now, this coming week is supposed to be nice and kind of cooler-ish. Like, you know, I think one day's supposed to get up to like 80 something, but mostly like 70s and stuff like that, which is pretty nice. So, that'll be good for like yard work and stuff like that this week. But tomorrow, I'd like to get that done. And then Matthew, though, won't be here because the college that he's going to, he has to go and take a math placement test. And it's probably about like 45 minutes or so away. And so, he has to go and do that tomorrow. Which is, I don't know if it's mandatory. I think like you can just come in and kind of do it whenever, like of the days they have set. But his girlfriend's going this day, so I think that they just decided it would make more sense for them to go both on the same day because his car right now doesn't have a headlight, and so if they're out like later, it's probably not a good idea that he's driving without it. I think that just makes more sense. So that's what's going on Saturday. I don't know about anything else that's going on. And then Sunday morning, we're going to a new church, actually, I think we're going to try out. And we're also going to, Matthew then also has work on Sunday. So it's like, Matthew won't be here this weekend to like help with a lot of the stuff that needs to be helped with, like work outside and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how all that's going to work out because Jack, though, is then going to the pool, which is just like right down the street from us at our park, with his friends. So that's another thing that's like, you know, we're also losing him. So if my mom can, depending on her neck and how she feels and stuff like that, might just be me and my dad working tomorrow outside. But like the lawn actually got mowed during the week this week, which was awesome. So we don't have to like worry about that getting taken care of. But then it's brush pickup. Our brush pickup is the first Monday of the month, and so we have to lug all of the brush that we've been cutting up and stuff like that out to the street, which won't be fun. So I think that's what my dad's planning on doing this weekend. But then like I need, like, I don't know, I just like not need help, but like I'd like to have somebody like helping, either just clean up, like when I pull stuff out of the gardens or beds or whatever, it's easier if I have someone that can just like put it in the, you know, in a leaf bag or something like that after me, instead of me having to try and do all that kind of stuff, because it kind of gets annoying after a while and like repetitive. Whereas like I'm really good at like digging this stuff up, but I don't like the tedious work of like then lugging everything and putting it into a leaf bag and stuff like that. So anyways, so guys, we'll see what happens this weekend. But I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe. And I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.